Here we are. We're about to do the Earmeout podcast. This is Jordan McWilliams. I'm going to be your host, always your host, Roderic Grant. And we're just going to get this show on the road. All right, guys. Welcome to the Earmeout podcast. I'm your host, Roderic Grant, a.k.a. Rod, a.k.a. the man of this conversation. AKA maybe about to be dethroned because this kid over here wants to have an argument with me. But I'm introducing Jordan McWilliams, also known in his city as McChicken.
Nope, that's only in my college town.
Yeah.
So,
well,
formerly known as just Jordan.
Just Jordan, okay. Yeah. It's funny how your parents named you Jordan, right?
Yes.
Funny, named you after the greatest basketball player of all time.
I wasn't expecting that one. No, that's not where it came from.
Okay. Where did they come from? The River Jordan?
It came from Michael Jordan. Yeah, it did.
That's right. You know that so Jordan also works my business, and when I met Jordan, I saw his resume first, and I was like, oh, okay, Jordan. I want to talk to this guy because once again, he's reminiscent of one of the greatest names of all time. Like seriously.
Yeah, Michael Jordan definitely is. Yeah. One of the greatest names of all time.
Yeah, and the greatest player.
That's debatable.
Of all time. We could get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
So give me a little bit about yourself, McChicken. What's good? What's up, man?
I grew up in Cincinnati. I've been here all my life. Went to college up in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Bowling Green?
Yeah. Not the one in Kentucky, though. Everyone thinks it's the one in Kentucky.
I wouldn't know, so I would never have
That's like a small town of like 3,000 people.
I think of Bowling Alley.
Oh, well, yeah. That's one too. But, I went there for a year. Came back, got this job, and now I'm just kind of seeing how it's going. As far as that, but yeah, that's pretty much about me. I lived a pretty basic life growing up, so
basic life.
Not a lot of hardships per se.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Perfect, Jordan. I was asking you. You said, "Hey, Rod, I want to get on your podcast." So I'm like, "Okay."
I like the airtime.
Yeah, and I said, "What do you want to talk about?" We'll talk about anything you want. And you're like, "Well, the only two things I want to talk about is Game of Thrones and what was the other one? And sports."
Sports, yeah. Those are like the only two things I actually know enough about.
I mean, I know a lot about sports in the way I see sports, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone sees it differently.
Right. I mean, I don't, like, a lot of people are, like, all about the stats and For me, I look at the individual. You know, I see what they're made out of, you know? Like, when it comes down to it, well, I want this guy in a fight with me. Like, that's the kind of stuff I look at with sports.
So, like, off the court and whatnot, or field.
I mean, I don't really care if they're sleeping with, like, 60 women and that has nothing to do with me. I don't pay them to be a good example to me. I pay them to be able to go and show me some cool stuff. On the court, on the field, and everything like that. That's what's called sports. Not if I pay them because I want to see them as a good example, I'll watch their reality TV show, or when their career ends on Dancing with the Stars, we'll do that.
To add to that, and Antonio Cromartie, the cornerback of the NFL, just had his 14th kid. So
what?
I think it's like his 5th since he got a vasectomy. So like I guess no, he's not stopping.
Whoa! He had a
vasectomy,
and it's still still
had
shooting.
Like 5 kids since then.
It's still pop. I thought that takes out all of your ammunition.
It's supposed to, man. The dude's a god, though.
Damn.
What can I say?
Damn.
I just wanted to add that.
That's crazy.
Because you said sleeping with 60 women. I think it's like 15 kids with like 9 different women or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many boys, how many girls?
I don't know.
Damn, what a legend.
Yeah.
What a legend. Like I would love to have I would love to have 15 kids, but I know this day and age is not possible with just one female.
Right.
And I mean, it'll probably kill them. Like the 10th kid will kill them.
Yeah, you have to have multiple.
Yeah, you would have to have multiple girls. Like back in the day, when that stuff was cool.
In Game of Thrones time.
Yes, in Game of Thrones time, you know. But when we ain't sleeping with our brothers and sisters here.
Nope, not yet.
What do you mean not yet? Not ever.
Take that off.
Yeah, not yet. Not ever. That's such a good show, though.
It is.
I want to take credit for this.
You can.
I made Game of Thrones popular.
I thought you were going to just say that you made me watch it.
Oh, I did force you to watch it. Yeah,
you're the one that got me into it. Honestly, a bunch of my college friends tried getting me to watch it when I was up there.
Right.
I honestly just said, like, this isn't for me. I'm not, like, kind of like that nerdy type and whatnot. But, and then you sold me on it, as I knew you would. And then I just started watching it, so. And I loved it. I think I finished all 7 seasons in, it's 2 months.
I mean, yeah, every time you came to go to the gym with me and I was in here getting ready, it took me an extra 30 minutes. You're just in your car watching Game of Thrones.
I was on my phone, yeah.
Right, right. But I mean, I love the show because I mean, people are like, oh, I don't like dragons and I don't like magic.
Right.
And I'm like, well, listen, everybody likes magic, first of all.
Well, that's how I was. I didn't want to watch it because it had all that stuff.
Yeah, but the root value of that show is like it's what goes on in real life.
Right.
You know, Game of Thrones can be symbolic of you know, the Christians versus the Jews versus the whoever the other people are that are all battling for the Holy Land, right?
Right.
Or I don't know, just a lot of stuff that's going on in our world right now is happening right then and there. It's kind of like I mean, back to the Bible, the book of John. You know, John's Revelation.
I'm actually not too familiar. No.
Okay, so John's Revelation is when it's talking about like the end of the world in the Bible,
really?
like when things are gonna end. And I'm telling people like I don't think it's literal because let's say in the book of John, he's like, oh, a dragon was falling, a creature was falling out of the sky. That creature could have been a plane on fire.
Right.
You know, so people are like, well, there's no such thing as dragons. No, but this guy is trying to.
It's symbolic.
It's symbolic. He's trying to recreate what he's seeing with what he knows.
But yeah, it's definitely a symbol, I think. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But I mean, why do you think the show's so popular?
Like you kind of said, people can relate to it in a different way. It's not like necessarily like directly related to our like world. Obviously, it's fantasy still, but I think like people can relate to like everyone's trying to be the best. They want power. Like that still correlates with what we do here, and especially in the United States. Like it's always a battle for power. You got the Republicans and the Democrats. People see it as like the Lannisters and the Starks and whatnot because the Lannisters like have a lot of money. You could relate that to the Republicans.
There's no black people in Game of Thrones. It's not enough.
There's one. There's that guy.
There's two.
In the city of Karth.
There's two, yeah.
And then the pirate. Is that who?
The pirate, yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I guess the closest thing to the black people, I guess, is the horse people. What are they called? The
Dothraki.
The Dothraki.
Yeah.
The Dothraki, yeah. But I mean, they're not close enough. I'm like, you know what? In this last season, maybe we're the freaking White Walkers. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to claim myself as one of them or something like that. But you know, you got the blondes versus the brunettes versus women. Like the women in the show have a lot of power.
They do, yeah.
You know, I think that's what's really exciting. It shows the transformation from like women from like their weak spot of, hey, you're meant to have these kids, and now you have to rise up and run the world.
And then I think a big kind of like the main part of that was Daenerys. Like remember the very first like season?
I felt Daenerys was like Hillary Clinton.
Right. I don't know about that,
but way hotter.
Definitely hotter.
And way more popular.
Yeah. But no, like during the first season, she was like her brother would like abuse her and kind of just like sell her as a sex slave and whatnot to the Khal Drogo.
Yeah, Dothraki.
Yeah. And then as like the seasons progress, you can see her like getting more powerful, more confident. And then the very last one, she's like the rightful queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Right. So I think it's kind of like a correlation of how women have like slowly.
And I think it's also a point of like she eventually. At first, remember the sex scene where like he was just having his way with her, right? Yeah. And it wasn't until she took power back in the bed, which led her to lead that army, basically. Right.
Because then they kind of established a connection.
Right,
and he kind of
or it just shows that men are really basic creatures.
Right.
They just need to be smashed right.
Yeah,
and then they'll be like, listen, you run this now. Here's the credit card. It's yours. But such a great show. It sucks that they ripped us off on the last season with, like 7 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, but they're an hour and a half each, so. It's kind of.
I looked at it. Some of them were like hour and 10 minutes. Then some of them were like 50-something minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they weren't all like an hour and a half. Trust me.
So yeah, they did rip us off.
Yeah, they did.
But they're doing spin-offs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or none of them confirmed yet.
I mean, I'm hoping it's good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's
good.
How
spin-offs are.
I mean, they don't. George R. R. Martin said that he doesn't do flashbacks. They did a couple flashbacks.
Yeah, they did.
So maybe the spin-offs are going to be off the flashbacks. But a lot of people don't want to watch it. I'm like...
Yeah. Would you prefer them to be flashbacks, or do you want it to be like more continuing on the story?
I would like to see both.
Both. So like kind of a mix.
I mean, Game of Thrones has been... was it season 7?
Yeah, this is season 8.
Coming out, yeah. So Game of Thrones has been around since as long as I've been in the business.
Right.
And I've been, we do like direct TV and stuff like that. So I watch the show and I get an instant connection with people when I talk about Game of Thrones.
Well, going back to kind of the show itself, who did you have like an instant connection with as a character on the show? when you first started watching?
It's funny. It's funny. It'll be Tyrion Lannister.
Why?
Tyrion. I mean, the guy's he's one of the strongest characters there, and I knew that.
Mentally.
Just the intellect.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
I noticed that as well.
Yeah, the intellect, because look, he's not strong. He's not good looking.
No.
He's rich.
He's rich.
He has power.
Yeah.
He's born into he has a noble name, right?
But he's kind of like the little bitch of his family.
He's considered the bitch of the family, but not by all of their family.
No, yeah.
By the children, the children love him. His brother loves him. The sister doesn't love him, and the father hates him.
He hated him, yeah.
Right. But Tyrion, like, his mind was as sharp as a sword.
He was super sharp.
Like, he just knew his stuff, and the fact of the matter is, like, when you know your shit, people can't hurt you.
Right.
You know, and one thing is that, like, when you own your shit, it's like, look, I'm a dwarf, I'm a half man, I'm this, I'm that. But once you're able to claim who you are, people can't use it as a weapon against you. And that's what he gave advice to Jon Snow.
Yeah, that's what
exactly.
Let me give you some advice, bastard. Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you.
Yeah, and that's the second person that
Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, in business, I want to take it back to business.
Of course.
I feel like I do a lot of the right things, right? And some of the right things in business are not the right things to do in business due to politics and things like that. And like, for instance, I mean, spoiler alert, people. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, I will let on spoiler alert. Don't watch this if you haven't watched Game of Thrones. But he got killed by his own men.
Right.
And all he did was care about them. All he did was risk his life for them.
Did what's best.
Right, do what's best. And when we're all watching, he was doing the right things, right?
Yeah.
And then they stabbed him and killed him.
Even the little kid that he
rescued. The little kid that he rescued. And I just see myself like that in business. I'm like, dude, how many times do I just break my back for someone?
And I get stabbed in the back.
And I get stabbed. Shit, I get stabbed in the head. They don't have a way for me to turn around. Or the people that I'm trying to help out, like, other people don't see the good, you know? And that's one thing about business I'm trying to figure out. How can you be a good guy and still win? You know, there's that saying, good guys finish last. And I put a quote on Twitter. I said, good guys finish last. That's because they lack that killer instinct, that work ethic, that effort, the extra effort.
Right.
I'm going to be the nice guy, and I'm not going to lose the extra effort. I'm going to continue to believe in people, but I'm also going to keep my eyes open, keep both eyes open, and make sure no one sneaks up on me with a little dagger and gets me. But you know what? If I had Lady Melisandre, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I would be able to come back to life and just be like, yo, I'm back. I'm hanging all of y'all. You know, like, if I could go back in time to those people who fucked me over, would you just hang them in advance?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I know I would too.
It was like what you guys said, like, you smell just a little bit of shit.
Yeah.
And then you have to be able to capitalize them instead of giving the opportunity.
Yeah, man.
And then that, kind of going back on Game of Thrones, the person I most respect on that show.
Respect or relate to?
Respect first. Okay. As Jon Snow. That's kind of like an obvious one, but no, I was reading an article. This was after I finished, and this obviously another spoiler.
Right. I keep pointing to.
Another spoiler though, but it was saying, it was a quote from Tywin Lannister, which was the father, the one that Tyrion killed, and he said a true king doesn't have to call himself a king.
I love that.
And then it just like shows all the scenes where Cersei's like, I'm the queen. Joffrey's like, I'm the king. Daenerys is like, I'm the queen. And then you just see Jon Snow's like, I'm just a bastard.
Right.
And that's how you know, like, he has that like true like leadership quality, because he knows how to be humble about it. And that's why I'm excited for the last season to see.
A true king doesn't need to call himself a king.
Right.
You know, there's so many people in that I've worked with. They're like, oh, I'm the best. Everyone loves me. This and that, blah, blah. And I call them the self-proclaimed heroes. Like, who said that you're the best?
You. You
said it. Exactly. Like, who said you're the greatest? You did. So, I don't know. I don't really understand it. But I'd rather just have my actions speak louder than my words, you know? Like, if I'm a king, then my actions are going to be kingly actions, and that's a word or anything like that.
Exactly.
But you're not just about Game of Thrones, Jordan. You are a very competitive person. Did you play any sports?
I did, yeah. I played a little bit of basketball in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is that how you got the name McChicken?
That is not because...
Because you dunking them chicken nuggets into the sauce or something?
No.
Okay.
That's not what it was.
That's what I would call you. Okay.
No, no. I played a little bit of basketball in high school. It was just recreationally, obviously. I didn't do it super competitively, but it was a lot of fun. I always wanted to play football, but I never really had the body type.
Why didn't you have the body type?
I'm a pretty lanky guy, so I kind of just took advantage of that and did a sport that best suited me, which is basketball. And then I ended up falling in love with it. So basketball is probably definitely my favorite sport. I played baseball as well.
So are you good at basketball still?
I haven't played in a while, but I think I could still.
What are you good at? What are you good at in basketball?
I'm a good shooter. Definitely a good shooter. I'm pretty stingy on defense. Not the best dribbler though. More of a spot up shooter.
Spot up shooter.
Yeah.
Like you set up. Not on the go.
I compare myself to Klay Thompson. He doesn't really. He's not really on the ball that much. But
his defense is crazy.
His defense is good. He's really stingy and he's a good shooter, spot up shooter. So he never really creates his own shots.
You know who really surprised me was last night was Kyrie.
Yeah.
Like his grab and go shooting style was insane.
He definitely has been working on that because obviously he had to prepare for being like the main guy in Boston. So and then especially after Hayward went down early in the game, that was gruesome. By the way,
you know, first of all, God bless that man.
Yeah.
And I hope for a speedy recovery.
Of course.
I don't just mean physically, but I also mean mentally. When you go through an injury like that, I've gone through injuries myself. There's the physical recovery, and then there's the mental aspect of, can I do that? Or maybe I don't want to go as high and jump as high because I might land and that's going to happen again. Yeah. So it's basically like you flinch every time.
You go for a layup.
Go for a layup and everything like that. But I really feel like he's a strong individual. I mean, the dude just it was gruesome.
It was. And then the person that you could tell like fell for Hayward the most was Derrick Rose because he's been through that himself like 2 or 3 times, especially on like the early season games. And you could just tell because like he's been through so much adversity. D Rose obviously.
I mean, I have a lot of respect for D Rose.
Of course, yeah.
First of all, because he was on the Bulls, and I'm a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
So let me just get that straight out of the way. I am 100% a Bulls fan. I'm from California. Yes, the Warriors are up there. The Lakers are there too. But I am a Bulls fan because that's what I was exposed to first. And D Rose came in. You know how we are. We're like, yes, the truth. There's hope. Bulls are coming. Yeah.
He saved you guys for a couple of years.
Yeah, and then what happened? Injury first.
Injury.
And an injury again. And
I don't like 3 full seasons, but won the MVP. He was the youngest MVP in NBA history, I think.
And I don't know if you saw the stuff that's going on in the background when he was like recovering and going through rehab and trying to fight back. But you know what people were saying? They're like, "Oh, D Rose is done. He's washed up. He's no good." But the guy keeps coming back.
Yeah, I know he won't go away.
He won't go away. He's like, you know what? I will come back. I will heal, and I will go again, and I will go again because I have some damn goals. And that's the difference between people. He has some damn goals, and other people would just be like, you know what? These goals that I was talking about, they're not really anything substantial. So, you know, I'm cool. I got the money. I'll sit on the bench. But now he's on the team, which I've adopted a dislike for. What are they called? The Cavs.
Yeah, that's
all right. That's the team. Okay. And it's funny. Like, you know what? I don't hate the Cavs. I'll be real.
You hate LeBron.
I don't hate LeBron. It's a strong word.
I dislike LeBron.
I dislike the bracket that they put him in.
Why is that?
Because I don't like when people try to say he's the greatest of all time. He is better than Michael Jordan. The competition, blah, 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 blah.
Well, there's definitely a strong argument for that.
Hey, there's a strong argument because, look, people want to see... No, people want to have a Messiah so bad that they don't want to wait for the actual Messiah to come. They're just going to create it and say, yes, this is the greatest. Like, you don't know. You might have someone that comes along that's better than LeBron, right?
Yeah, of course. There's always a chance.
There's always a chance. And LeBron, yes, he is good. The guy is good.
He's great,
But great compared to what? And that's the discussion. Great compared to what?
Right.
When I'm comparing LeBron, I'm comparing him to greatness that I witnessed with my own eyes. Because obviously I'm a little bit older than you, right? And I got to watch Michael Jordan do his thing. Like, dude, they're losing. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And this guy just dig deep. Like, it was like watching Magic. Not Magic Johnson, but who was also awesome. Yeah. But like watching Magic, like, how did this dude just bring us back? Like, I would sit down with my dad and we're watching the Bulls. And my dad's just calm. You know why? Because he's like, Michael Jordan's going to make it happen.
Exactly.
And he does every time. Well, most times than none.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, how many finals did he go to?
6.
How many rings did he win?
6.
Wow, that's called no heart attack for Rod. But then LeBron, I mean, he's trying his best. The dude's working hard, and he's working with what he's got. One thing about it, look, when he left Cleveland, I was not mad at him.
I wasn't either.
I was actually happy for him.
I knew he was going to leave. I knew he had to leave for himself.
Right.
Obviously,
Exactly. People forget that we have our own lives.
Right.
And he didn't come here for the money. LeBron did not come here for the money. I remember when I was playing in high school and I heard about LeBron James and everything like that. Like, yo, this kid's crazy. He's straight into the NBA. Blah, blah. I'm like, oh, man. And I was watching some of his videos. But he has to live his own life. But so many of us want to see him do what we want him to do. And like, oh, we're burning his jersey. All right, well, that's your money. Then you bought it again when he came back.
So
who won? Who won on that?
LeBron definitely won. But no, as a lifelong Cavs fan, I definitely was there when I actually got into the NBA a couple of years before LeBron left the Cavs. It was around like 2008, 2009 when I started liking the NBA. And I was a Cavs fan, obviously, because being from Cincinnati, there's no Cincinnati team. So definitely as a lifelong Cavs fan, or at least as long as I liked the NBA, I knew that LeBron was going to leave in 2010, and I wasn't mad when he chose to. The only thing that he could have done a little bit better was, the way he did it and whatnot, but obviously he was still a kid. He didn't really know as much about the world as he does now. But when he left, I kind of knew that he had to do what he had to do. Mm-hmm. I wasn't like some other delusional Cavs fans who just assumed that he was going to be blindly loyal to them just because he was from Akron. But I knew he had to do what he had to do, but I always had this kind of little feeling that he was going to come back. So when he did come back, I freaked out. I texted all my friends. I was like, oh my God, he's actually back. I predicted this from the very beginning. And I was just so excited. And I knew that we were going to win a championship then. It was before we drafted, or it was after Wiggins. It was before we got Kevin Love. It was before, Kyrie kind of came into his own. I knew, just because LeBron was back, it was too good of a story for not to end good. And that's why after the first year when they lost to the Warriors, I wasn't really worried. I mean, I knew because we were hurt, and obviously, like you always say, it's not an excuse. But I knew we would be back the next year, and I knew we were going to win it. And then they were down 3-1. It's just such a you can't not get emotional about sports.
Of course, I mean, sports you definitely get when you win, when you lose, when you're watching. Your identity is attached to your team.
Exactly.
And, of course, you feel it like the players feel it. Not as quite on the same level because you're not fatigued. You've been sitting down the whole time.
Right.
But you feel from the heart. Yeah, emotionally.
But, yeah, just I know I'm not even from Cleveland, but just watching that whole series with the Warriors in 2016, I could feel, how Cleveland was hurting after they went down 3-1. I mean, they hadn't won a title in, 54 years? A major sports title, right? And I just knew, I could tell just in LeBron's, mindset that, he wanted it so bad. And, I'm not gonna lie, I cried when they won the championship. I mean, I'm not from Cleveland.
You cried?
I did. I cried when they won in Game 7. I didn't cry. I just teared up. But
that's still crying.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I got super emotional.
It's the drizzle form of rain. Your eyes were drizzling.
I got super emotional. I mean, LeBron cried. He was crying on the floor.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of felt for him. This was his dream ever since he was little. He wanted to win a ring for his hometown, and he broke the curse. So you can't not get emotional about sports. I mean, but that's kind of how I felt about the subject. And then when he came back. So.
Well, I had to put down a Snapchat just so people would know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Just in case they're trying to call me and everything. Why isn't Rod answering? That's because I got Jordan McChicken over here, and we are getting down. But you know what? I just like to keep things congruent. If you're going to allow one of your children to do something, and the other one sees that kid doing it, you're going to have to allow the other one to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And LeBron took it to the next level.
Talking about the super team.
He built a super team. And the super team compared to what? Remember, compared to what?
Compared to what
was there at that time.
Yes,
right.
That was a super team.
Right, so that was a super team.
Barely, but...
And then, barely, but still was.
Yeah.
And I just knew they were going to make a run.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen. And then, so he won how many rings?
With them, just the Heat, he won 2.
2 rings.
2 out of 4, yeah.
Yeah, 2 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
And is that when the conversation started happening if he's better than Michael Jordan? When do you think these conversations started happening?
The conversation started happening when, for me, obviously they were always a thing.
Right.
Coming out of high school because he was so hyped coming out of high school. They were always going to be a thing. But for me, I never really bought into the hype that he was better than Michael Jordan until he brought the Cavs back from 3-1 against the best team in NBA history because they won 73 games that season. And no one ever seen that before, so everyone just assumed they were automatically going to win.
I was super bitter about that. It was amazing. It was kind of like that Patriots game,
the Falcons one?
Yeah.
Well,
I call it the Patriots game because the Patriots beat the Falcons.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That one.
But that was kind of amazing. I was like, what? I bet. I'm a betting man. And luckily I didn't bet anything on that game. Because I would have bet, my firstborn son's name that the Cavs were going to lose.
Right.
And somehow LeBron came with some leadership, and I'm just like, wow. That's when I had respect for LeBron James.
Right.
He came back, he won the game, and I shut my mouth. And he won the game while I was talking a lot of shit in the city of Ohio, right? And everybody was like, boo, boo, and I'm talking shit. I'm like, they're not going to win, and they won. He shut me up. But when you try to compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan, I'm sorry. MJ's the greatest. He's just the greatest. Unless you want to tell me why right now. Why he's not the greatest.
You know why?
I know you're going to.
You're going to.
You're going to.
So let's see. List them off?
Yeah, go.
Okay, cool.
Let's start one by one. Let's go one by one.
All right. So Michael Jordan played. I'm not sure the exact number of seasons. He played 10, 12 seasons or something like that. He had 6 finals appearances. LeBron James, not even done with his career, probably still has 5 more years left. He already has 7 appearances. I'll go on to the next one.
No. Slow it down, buddy.
The next one's in favor.
Whoa. We'll get to that.
Okay, cool, yeah.
I just want to join you on your research that you did. Guys, it might look like I'm looking at this laptop. I can't even see this laptop. I have no research done. Brainiac over here has all the research done, so we'll take this one by one. So, finals appearances, right?
Yes.
How many was LeBron in?
7.
How many was Jordan in?
6. We'll get to the record later.
Okay. And how many did Jordan win?
6.
How many did LeBron win?
3.
3. Okay. So just looking at that stat, I'm going to give 1 point for Michael Jordan. That's later. We'll get into that. I'm just excited to get into it. 1 point for Michael Jordan. So we're going to put a Michael Jordan head right here. And
no, you didn't hear my rebuttal to that.
I know I wasn't done.
Oh, okay. But you already put the point to Jordan, but I still have to say my argument.
Can I guess what you're going to say?
What?
Are you going to say something about the amount of finals that he's got to in a short amount of time? Okay, go ahead then.
Okay, cool. So it is proven by any writer, broadcaster, or anything like that, that the NBA is way harder now to win than it was in the 90s or the 80s. There was no competition for Michael Jordan. He had the easiest path to rings ever. He beat his first ring. He beat the old Showtime Lakers. They were done. Second ring, he beat the Trailblazers. I can't even name one player on that team. His third ring, he beat the Suns. As far as that, the Suns. His fourth ring, he beat the washed-up Supersonics. Didn't have anyone on the bench.
Just discrediting the greatest player of all time.
I'm gonna do it.
You're taking away all his credit.
True rings.
You're putting an asterisk next to every one of his finals championships. How dare you?
He had two true wins. He beat his 5th and his 6th ring against the Jazz, which was an actual good rivalry. I mean, even though the Bulls got the best of them both years, it was a good rivalry, and that's where he got his 2, I think, respectable rings.
Okay, so Michael Jordan has won how many finals?
6.
2 of them were real rings, right?
I think that they were.
Yeah. Okay. No.
The other 4 that LeBron could have won as well.
Okay, and LeBron only has 3 rings, right?
Correct.
How many of those were true rings?
All 3.
All 3. Cool. So then let's say 2 of them are real. Then Michael Jordan also. So there's 4 rings floating around that aren't real. Right?
Yeah.
So let's add it up. Let's say 2 rings together make 1 ring. Then another 2 rings make 1 ring. He's still better than goddamn LeBron James.
Oh, you lost me there. I don't know what you said.
Okay, I'm saying if we added the 2 half rings or 2 half wins, I mean at the end of the day he still has to go through a full season. He still had to beat those teams.
Well, no, one of those seasons he was injured almost the whole season. He just came back to the playoffs.
It's like saying. Oh, the NFL today is better than the NFL back in the day. Yeah. Did you see what people were wearing back in the day? But the competition is still the competition in that time.
Right.
We can't compare different times. People are bigger. Kids are bigger. They're stronger now. Look at LeBron James. He could be a freaking wide receiver. He
could play any sport.
He can play any sport. The guy's an anomaly.
But when you look at it, he beat the best team to ever play. LeBron James. He beat the best team. That if anything, if you're saying that Jordan's like half rings count, that should count as 2 rings.
Right.
He beat the best team down 3-1. Like, no one expected him to win. He beat the Thunder in their prime.
He beat the best team after he came back and created his own team.
No.
You were talking about how Golden State created their own team and they're a super team. Okay, good. But you're also saying that LeBron came back and he beat the best team. But you had a problem because the Golden State was they used to grow organically, and now you're saying now they're taking people from other places to create a super team.
Correct.
But that's the organic team that they were, that LeBron beat, correct?
Yeah.
Right, the best team.
That was the best team. They won 73 games. That's more than any other team won in NBA history. The best regular season team. As far as that,
regular season team.
LeBron beat the Thunder in their prime when they had
regular season even matter anymore?
It does. It has to because it determines the seeding.
You know.
The end of it doesn't.
You know that they didn't need to win all those games to make it to the finals.
I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm aware. No, but what I'm saying is, I will say about LeBron, he did have one like really bad loss, and it was to the Mavericks their first year. You could put that on chemistry, but I just think that they didn't get their shit together.
Oh, I'm not putting it on chemistry. They still made it to the finals.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We're not going to blame it on chemistry once we're in the finals.
2007, Cavs Spurs in the finals. That was LeBron's 3rd or 4th year in the league. Mm-hmm. He took statistically the worst team in NBA history that ever played in the finals to the finals.
Stats.
I'm gonna use them because stats matter.
Stats.
So statistically, the 2007 Cavaliers team was the worst team to ever make it to the finals. If you can name one player on that 07 team other than LeBron, just name one. What
was the competition?
The Spurs, one of the best dynasties in this century.
Really?
For basketball, yes.
I feel like you hype up the competition when it's good for you, and then you degrade the competition when it's.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying they got swept. The Cavs got swept.
Did you watch any of those games with Michael Jordan?
07? Or Michael Jordan? Yeah, I watched a couple.
All 6 of his rings, all 6 of his championships.
I didn't watch them all.
Oh, I appreciate your honesty. So that's my thing. Like, there's a generation gap, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not one to take sides about anything. I'm looking for the next greatest person because I love evolution. I love people getting better every single time.
Right.
And I want to see someone come and take down Jordan's rings. I was rooting for Kobe. That's why I was so mad when they blocked that trade.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Paul.
Yeah, he needed help.
And it was also just a shame that we never got to see LeBron.
And you know what? Finals. And you know why he needed help? Because the competition was evolving.
It was, yeah.
It's different. You're right. He was getting older. You're right. But in that day, the competition was the competition. But
what I'm saying is LeBron would have destroyed the 80s and the 90s. Like, absolutely demolished. They were just not as athletic.
I don't think so.
Why is that?
Because LeBron lacks something very, very important. And, I've said this so many times. He has the body. He has the power. He has everything going for him, except for his free throw shooting is freaking horrible.
We all have our downfalls.
Yeah, right. But that killer instinct, like, move out of the way, give me the ball, and I'm gonna score. That is why Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. That is why Kobe Bryant is Kobe Bryant. That's why Michael Jordan's shoes are still being worn to this day, even though the man has not played in countless years.
Okay, you can say the killer instinct, but then you could also say how
LeBron's a baby.
LeBron is a better leader. He has the ability to make himself, others around him, good. I'll bring up the stat I brought up earlier. And yes, it is another stat. You could put a stat up there or something like that.
Stats, another stat point.
Another stat. So the year that Michael Jordan retired to play baseball, the Bulls went from 50...
And came back and won again? That's the greatest, man. Do you know that story too?
The Bulls won 57 games the year before he retired, and then once he retired, they won 55. LeBron in 2009, his team won like 56 games or something like that, and then he leaves to go to Miami, and then the Cavs won 33 games. So he made everyone around him better.
Right. But I could also say Michael Jordan made them so good that when he left, that they were still able to hold up that amount of games. Like, listen to
No,
this.
the competition was so bad.
Check this. No. That's not saying the competition is so bad,
It
okay?
was.
No. Now you're throwing extra stuff in. Like, when I'm running my office and I'm there and we're cranking about 100 sales a week, and then I leave on a vacation, a 2-week vacation, and you guys do 99 sales and then 99 sales. That shows that I established leadership there. I brought people up with me. I made them better so that when daddy's away, the cats don't play, they get things done. And that's what the Bulls did for Michael Jordan when he left to go and play baseball. You know what? They stepped up, and that's why they won. But you know what? The Cavs needed LeBron so bad that when he was gone, they crumbled. That's not making people better.
But you can also put that on the front office for not giving LeBron any help.
The front office.
Yeah, you have to.
You have so many freaking avenues. I got one freaking road. You got the back road. You got the freeway. You are the definition of an ex machina.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I'm gonna explain to you what ex machina is. Ex machina is back in the day when you used to have like plays. You know, like Shakespeare plays and everything like that, and the main character will get in a bind, and there's no way out. Like, the main character should get killed somehow, and then a large crane will come around and pick the character up and put him in safety. No one can explain what happened, but it just did. Ex machina, the god in the machine, or the god outside the machine, something like that. But Deus ex machina, yeah. But that's what you are right now. You always you find this avenue, like, LeBron, watch out, he's gonna hit you with this. Take the back road. LeBron, watch out, take a helicopter. Like, dude, we can't. We gotta get down to like apples to apples. We have to go apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Take away any excuses. Let's take away the competition. Let's just look at the two individuals. Let's look at the two individuals as individuals.
Okay, cool.
So what's that?
LeBron James.
Do you have over there?
LeBron James is on track to top Jordan in all statistical categories, including points. He already has done rebounds and assists, which already proves he's a better all-around player. But yeah, Jordan's labeled the best scorer in NBA history, which I agree with. I think he was a better scorer than LeBron. He averaged 37 points one year, and LeBron's never done that.
Jordan also took on more responsibility.
But LeBron
took it on his back. What? Oh.
LeBron.
You're going to say Jordan didn't put a team on his back.
I'm saying he had Pippen. Scottie Pippen. LeBron had nobody when was in his first tenure with the Cavs. He literally had no one. His best player was Anderson Varejao.
So he didn't win with the Cavs because he wasn't able to make them that good, I guess.
Who do you have to make a Larry Hughes? Like, I
mean, we can make excuses all day for LeBron.
Okay,
I think you know what's the problem is LeBron. I want to say this. I apologize. I'm going to do this apology for LeBron. I apologize because it's not always you that is making me dislike you at times. It's your fans that make so many excuses for you, even excuses you haven't even made. And I take their words and I project them on you. So really, it's the LeBron fans that are making excuses. If you guys are real fans of him, you will call it as it is. You would call it as you would say, you know what, you need to step up, LeBron.
I said that in 2011 when they lost to the Mavericks. I said he choked. He choked that whole series.
Yeah, exactly. But you need to step up.
I'll admit when LeBron doesn't do what he needs to do.
Are you a LeBron fan or you're a Cavs fan?
I'm a LeBron fan. And
okay.
A Cavs fan.
Okay. So you're also that's also very emotional.
I'm both.
Yeah. Okay. Both.
So when he left for
Drunk
Miami,
and high at the same time.
When he left for Miami,
yeah, I'm both.
I was still a Cavs fan, but I rooted for the Heat, like when they were in the playoffs and whatnot. But I would always root for the Cavs either way.
It's nice to like be on both sides.
It's not on both sides. It was. Okay, so I still love the Cavs when LeBron left. I still rooted for them. They were still my number one team.
Michael Jordan is the greatest.
I disagree. I mean,
all these stats. I told you, I have no stats.
That's okay.
The mentality. If someone said, "Hey, who would I rather have today, young Jordan or young LeBron?" I'm going with young Jordan every freaking time.
I'll put old LeBron over young Jordan. He's gotten better with age. He's like a fine wine.
I would put young Jordan over old LeBron.
I wouldn't do that. He's gotten better with age. Like, you can't make any excuses.
Because he's stat padding?
He's not stat padding. He's carrying a team on his back.
He's Westbrooking?
He's not Westbrooking. Did you know that the Thunder made a game plan last year to statistically get Westbrook rebounds? Like, they would just, go down the court and just let him get the rebound to get him a triple-double. I mean, I don't respect stuff like that.
I don't respect stuff like that either.
No, of course not. But LeBron never did.
But you know what? It's funny. Like, whenever something happens, when LeBron loses the game, but he had a triple-double, he had all his points and this and that. No, man. He lost the game. Fuck his stats. No.
I'll be the first person to say
He lost the game. Fuck his stats. He lost. and he lost, and he should take full accountability for the fact that he lost.
I'll be the first person to agree with you.
So when they're on there like, oh, LeBron did this, you should tell, hey, shut up. Like, he lost, and the whole team lost because of him. He should have some accountability.
He does have accountability. Have you ever seen his post-game interviews when they lose? They would all the media would try to blame it on Kyrie. The media would try to blame it on Kyrie, and LeBron put it on himself.
The kid, yeah. The kid. So degrading.
He deserves. He has the right to be.
So degrading. No, listen.
I respect Kyrie's decision, but he should have at least let LeBron know.
Kyrie had every right to want to leave.
I agree.
Just like LeBron had every right to want to leave.
I agree with you.
And if anybody should understand Kyrie, it should be LeBron. Because at some point in time, it's not about the money. And you know what? It might not even be about the rings. But it's about seeing what you can do as an individual when you're not in this crazy shadow of a man called LeBron James.
Exactly. And
who lives in an even crazier shadow called Michael Jordan.
And it's kind of like you can relate that to business as well. Like in our business, like wanting to move out, be on your own, and whatnot. Like you don't want to just stay in your owner's office
because you never know what you can do.
Yeah, you're never gonna know like what you can do on your own. I agree with Kyrie in that sense. That's why I wasn't happy last night when Cavs fans were booing Kyrie.
That's so disrespectful.
I thought they should have applauded him. He got the ring.
Right.
He made that shot. That was the best shot in Cleveland history. But
I agree.
And I'm not putting anything on Kyrie.
But I think LeBron should have had. I don't think he was thinking correctly. I think LeBron should have had a little bit more respect for him and stop calling him the kid. And listen, the reason why, right when he said the kid once, I was like, oh. Then he said the kid twice. I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, hold up, LeBron.
I think people are looking at
No. I am not looking into too much. That was degrading. Because look, that's the same reason why he wanted to leave. That was part of the reason. Like, do you want him to call you the entry level when you've already gotten promoted, when you've proven yourself?
No.
Like, no, I'm not the kid. I am your partner. I was your partner. I was the person that came and helped you win that ring.
Yeah, but also,
there's no reason why you should call him the kid. You should call, hey, when Kyrie wanted to leave, when my ex-teammate wanted to leave, not the kid. That was very disrespectful, I think. So, and LeBron's smarter than that. And one thing about LeBron is he's not a stupid player.
Nope.
He's one of the most intellectual players to play the game. Would you agree? Yes or no?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he's a smart player.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He can see things before it happens. Like that guy. That's how that guy is amazing.
Right.
But he knew exactly what he was doing when he said the kid. And I know, like, they've been going back and forth, and Kyrie's on the plane singing, "Now I'm coming home," and whatever like that, making fun of him. And he's with Steph Curry at someone's wedding, and like it's all mind games that they're playing. But that part, come on.
Okay, but you can make the same argument. For Kyrie, when he was doing his interview with Stephen A. Smith, he was being completely disrespectful to LeBron. He said it was nice. Was
this after the kid statement?
No, this was before. But after the kid statement, he said it's nice to be able to play in a real sports city for once. Like that's just an insult to Cleveland.
A real sports city, though.
Cleveland was a real sports city. Did you see the parade when they won?
Okay, so how many teams does Cleveland have?
They have 3.
What are they?
The Indians, the Browns, and the Cavs.
Well, the Browns aren't a real team.
That's true. Yeah.
So 2, I guess.
2.5.
Okay, and how many does Boston have?
Probably like 4 or 5. 4. But it's just not numbers. Like nobody.
Maybe that's what he meant, like a real sports city.
But he knew what he meant. Like Kyrie's smart. He's a smart guy too. He may not be that smart. He thought the world was.
You know what? I'll give that one to you. I will give you that one to you because if I'm going to say LeBron knew what he was doing, Kyrie knew what he was doing with that statement.
Of course, and like it's so easy to twist something like that, like saying that like it's nice to be in an actual sports city. Like Kyrie knew that he was taking a shot at Cleveland.
It's kind of like it's nice to be with a girl with big boobs.
Exactly.
It's nice to be with a girl with a big butt. So what's that saying to your ex-girlfriend, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. What's your next stat boy?
LeBron came straight out of high school. Jordan did 2-3 years in college before he even came up. So Jordan should have been more developed coming into the NBA, but he got swept in his first 3 years in the playoffs. In the first round, Jordan got swept. LeBron James, in just his third year in the season or in the NBA, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that shows that he was more NBA ready.
How old was LeBron James when he came out?
20. He was 18 when he came out, so he made it to the Eastern Conference Finals at 20.
So he was a lot younger.
Exactly.
A lot younger than.
So yeah,
Jordan.
Less
youth is a big deal.
It can also be a disadvantage as well, though.
I mean, in terms of like mental development.
Exactly. So I mean, he wasn't ready for the NBA, but LeBron was ready from game one.
I mean, Jordan also came from a very different system.
Exactly, but I mean, he came from North Carolina. He should have been more NBA ready.
He should have been more NBA ready.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows about the training that went behind the scenes for LeBron James when he got straight up out of high school?
Oh, it was intense.
Right. So people could say, like, LeBron is more NBA ready.
He was.
But all that NBA readiness didn't get him more rings.
It will.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to rings. He will not. I'm going to say this. I'll be the first to say this. LeBron James will not get more than 4 rings total.
Yes, sir, right now. I think he'll get at least 5.
I am telling you this. He's not going to get more than 4 rings. And in the 4th ring, it's going to be because something crazy happened with the other team.
So you're going to put on the competition.
Just like you do.
But you told me I couldn't do that.
So we can't do that anymore? Are we going to wipe?
No,
we can't do that anymore? Okay, all right, fine. All right. But so I'm going to say he's going to get only 4 rings because the guy, unless he learns about accountability and...
LeBron's great with accountability.
What are you talking about?
Like the example I gave earlier, when he, back when Kyrie was on the Cavs, when they were saying, they were trying to put the loss on Kyrie when they lost to the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals or something like that, LeBron literally put all the blame on himself. I thought that was pretty accountable of him.
What else could he do in that situation?
He could have let Kyrie take the blame.
Listen, until you, Jordan McWilliams, go and watch Michael Jordan.
I've seen his games. I've seen
I go and watch all those seasons. Go and watch every game, all those seasons. Like you have watched the Cavs, right? Like you've watched LeBron.
Right.
Then you could honestly come and try to compare this. Because right now you're looking at stats and all this stuff like that. You got to go and actually see. You got to have that eye test. Now, sometimes it's not all about what's on the paper.
I agree.
Right? Because if it was all about what's on the paper, you wouldn't have an argument with him about how many rings. Is it about the rings? Is it not about the rings? Is it about the money? It's not about the money. If it's about the support, is it not all about the support? It's about the competition. It's like this isn't a vacuum. We can't eliminate all these things, and there's too many factors that go into it. But for me, my problem with some LeBron James fans, some Cavs fans, and I told you this, you guys are the equivalent to vegans.
How so?
But Rod, what's wrong with vegans? Absolutely nothing. Eat your food, eat your lettuce, eat your greens, stay away from anything that comes from or out of an animal. But I like my steak. And I think steak is the greatest thing in the world. And I don't go to the Cavs fans or to anyone else and say, hey, Jordan's better than LeBron. But yet they come around and they're like, hey, we're better than Jordan. Notice us. We're the greatest. LeBron's the greatest. LeBron's the greatest. Didn't you say a quote about the Lannister's father? What was that quote?
Oh, a true king never has to call himself a king.
I am the king. I will punish you.
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king.
Right.
But LeBron has said statistically that he's better. Never said that he's better than Jordan.
Look, a true king never has to call himself a king. Doesn't he have a tattoo?
That's John.
Is that John?
Yeah, that's John.
But how do you get the name the king?
He didn't give it to himself. His fans gave that to him coming out of high school. He was literally.
So the problem isn't LeBron; it's the fans.
So that you're saying ultimately that's your biggest.
Well,
problem.
King James from the Bible and everything. King James version.
Yeah,
everything
but
like that.
ultimately you're saying your problem more lies with the fans and.
Yeah, I'll say 80% with the fans, 20% with LeBron James, and the fact you know how like Stephen A. Smith hates the Cowboys fans, right? He hates.
Yeah, mainly because of Skip Bayless, but.
Right. Yeah, but he hates the Cowboys. But I hate the fans. Like, don't push your beliefs of LeBron James on me. Like,
it's a religion, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, leave me the hell alone. I think Michael Jordan's the greatest. Respect that. That's my opinion. I'll respect your opinion.
Right.
We will never agree. That's why this conversation keeps going on, because it's entertaining to watch. Yeah, it's entertaining.
It is.
But we will never agree. But one thing is, I'm not hoping that we agree on everything, but I'd like us to agree or be able to understand one thing. The experience. I've experienced what LeBron has gone through because I am also in your generation, but you haven't experienced what Jordan has gone through.
I agree.
And you know, maybe because we don't have HD, it might be hard in your eyes to watch some of those games. Trust me, some of the video footage is brutal. But I encourage you to go and watch that and see what I saw back then. and then maybe you'll have a better understanding. I understand where you're coming from. I understand the stats.
So you're saying I need to look at it from another point of view?
Yeah, you got to look at it. You know, they always say this, there's 3 sides to a story. His side, her side, and the truth. Yeah. The truth lies in the videos, my friend.
And, I mean, everyone says, like, Michael Jordan's better than LeBron, LeBron's better than Michael Jordan. I feel like it all just, like, once again, like you said, depends on your era as far as that. And then who you've been able to watch more.
Right.
I feel like I admit that I'm a little bit biased. I never really got to see Michael play in his prime.
Of course. Everybody's dad is the strongest in the world.
Right.
Everybody's dad's the coolest.
Everyone's dad can beat up your
Everyone's
dad.
My dad can beat up your dad. That's and it doesn't matter what the stats are.
No.
Because we believe in our heart, and if we could take emotion out of it, then it would be totally different. But we can't. It's not a vacuum, and we can't do that. But some people I want to give kudos to Steph Curry. You know, he
respect Steph Curry.
He stays quiet and he does his thing. Do I think he's one of the greatest? I absolutely do think he's one of the greatest basketball players to ever play. He changes
greatest shooters. One of the greatest shooters to ever play.
I mean, isn't shooting part of the game?
It is. It's a part, but that's
Right.
the only part he's mastered.
Can't he get in there? Can't he penetrate the defense and also score?
On occasion.
No, he can't. The dude puts his body on the line as well.
I have tremendous respect for Steph Curry.
Right. But listen, greatest shooters, that's a big part of the game. Because listen, shooting 3-pointers is also harder than shooting a 2-pointer.
Steph Curry changed the game, and I respect him for that.
Because there's so much hate here. I didn't want to get blinded by the hate. That's how to put this on.
I'm not hating on anyone. I already said I respect Jordan. I respect
That's a
Curry.
joke. It's a joke, young man.
No, I get riled up when I talk about sports, and I love it. But no, one thing I was gonna say about Steph, like everybody wrote him off coming out of college. Do you know where he went to college? I don't blame you if you don't. Nobody does. Do you know?
I heard it before, but nothing substantial.
No, it's so small. It's Davidson College.
Yeah, Davidson.
Davidson College. It's
My friend
Division I.
Celeste went there. That's why I knew that.
Yeah, it's barely Division I, and I respected the shit out of him because he came out of there. He went to 7th overall to the Warriors.
You're the stat man.
I mean, I know it all. So
stat man. Ooh.
He went 7th overall to the Warriors, and so many people said that this guy was gonna be better than him. He's not a true point guard. He can't really play, and then he came in, despite all the injuries that he had early on in his career, he became one of the greatest today. He's top 5. I'd say maybe even top 3. So I respect Steph Curry.
I definitely will put him top 3, and just because of the size of his body, that's why he's not the top, but like the guy reinvented shooting.
He has an insane amount of work ethic, and that's why I always respect Steph Curry.
And Klay Thompson
well.
also has his shoot. The whole Warriors shooting game has gone up because of Steph Curry. The Splash Brothers. Everyone wants to be part of that. So what are they practicing? The 3-pointers. Mm-hmm. 3-pointers from behind the arc.
Right.
Like the dude is insane.
No.
Honestly, if I had a choice, and you're gonna get mad, if I had a choice of Steph Curry and LeBron James, I'd pick Steph Curry.
I'm not gonna say anything to that because
you know why? Because I just like the way it makes me feel. Like the guy just, when he shoots, the way he electrifies the crowd, it's insane. Like I haven't seen someone electrify a crowd with a 3-pointer. You know what I'm saying? Like it used to be just crazy dunks and everything like that, jumping from the free throw line and things like that. But the 3-pointer, how do I make that exciting? Well, let me just take 5 feet. I would step 5 feet away from the arc and just drain that like it's nothing. Just all day, Drano.
One person on the Warriors I don't respect, and
Draymond?
Definitely Draymond. He's kind of like the
He's needed.
He's kind of like the James Harrison of the NBA.
He's needed.
Everybody.
He's kind of like the Rodman. I think he's like Rodman.
Yeah, I agree a little bit to that too. Everybody hates him, and I just don't like him as a player. He's really arrogant.
Yeah.
He's good though. I'll give it to him. He's a good player.
They need the arrogance there. They need someone to talk shit. They need people to get under other people's skin.
Right.
That's also part. He's the psychological warfare that they have.
So you're saying any good team needs someone like that?
Yeah, I think so.
But then you can take it to the Spurs, who are just like the most quiet team in like the NBA. Nobody. You see how Popovich went out, how Duncan went out. They don't say anything. Tim Duncan retired at like 1 a.m. on Monday. Like he doesn't care, and they were one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history.
I mean, the Pistons.
The Pistons were, yeah.
Yeah, but they were dirty ass players and everything like that. But I'm saying you always I would love always my team. I love the guy that can do like psychological warfare to win the match before the match is even like McGregor. You know what I'm saying?
Michael Jordan did though. Yeah, I'll give him that. He was really good with psychological warfare.
Look, Michael Jordan didn't just whoop other people's asses. He whooped his team's ass.
Mm-hmm.
He punched his own teammate in the face.
I know, I remember that.
Like, yo, if I was on the other team, I'm like, yo, he just punched his own teammate in the face. If he punched his own teammate in the face, what is he willing to do to me?
Right.
You know, so like I said, it could go back and forth and back. But I respect LeBron James. I do. And I wish the kid all the success.
You just don't respect his fans.
Yeah, I definitely don't respect his fans that are blinded, and they can't see things from another perspective. Like, yeah, cool. Have your conclusion, but don't tell me you're gonna ignore all of this right here. You know what? Why don't you tell me what you think about Michael Jordan? Why don't you tell me all that stuff about Michael Jordan? But they can't say anything. So LeBron, the ball, the stats, the blood, the blood, the blood. And you know what? I don't got time for all the stats. And this is gonna take us to the end of our podcast, unless there's something else you want to talk about.
Yeah, everyone around.
He's
you got
like,
me into it now.
He's like, you're not gonna get me riled up and end the podcast.
Well, no,
Thank you guys for listening to the Earmeout podcast. I'm your host. I'm joking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the last topic. Remember that I was going to talk to you about is like everyone calls you the Michael Jordan of business. So I kind of wanted to get some last minute pointers from you going in the future about business.
I wish I was the Michael Jordan of business.
You're the LeBron James.
Yeah.
He's a Curry.
Yeah. Thanks,
You're
Phil.
The Draymond.
The Draymond, right? Because my skin color, I'm Draymond. Goddamn racist. No. I mean, I feel like everyone had the expectations of me being like the Michael Jordan. I mean, no skin tone in this at all. You know what I'm saying? This just straight up. The Michael Jordan or the LeBron James, and those are some of the examples I've got. And I can more relate to LeBron James than Michael Jordan in the way I've ran my business. He went to multiple finals, but he didn't get everything he wanted out of it.
Right. And
I feel like I've been in business multiple years, but I haven't gotten everything I wanted out of it.
Not yet.
Not yet. And I'm going to keep going. So I can relate more with LeBron James in that sense. But when it comes to the killer mentality, like, yo, piss me off and we'll see what happens. Like, I'm more of a Michael Jordan when it comes to that. But LeBron, I can relate to him on the fact, like, he doesn't want to disappoint himself. He doesn't want to disappoint his fans. He doesn't want to disappoint anyone. If it was just about him, maybe, who knows, maybe he wouldn't want all those rings.
Yeah.
But I think he really wants to give the state of Ohio something. I think, because he's very grateful for the opportunities that he's had. But in business, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like I need to do. I gotta become a little bit more ruthless. I gotta care on a different level. Like, when I'm caring for people, I'm not neglecting the shortcomings that are detrimental, that can hurt us in business.
Right.
I'm not gonna love with my eyes closed anymore. I'm gonna make love with my eyes open, which is kind of freaky. But I'm gonna make sure that happens.
And then some people may say that this is the Rocky Balboa story, except you're African American.
Some people, you did watch that video, right?
I watched the video, yeah. That was a good video.
Yeah,
I watched it a lot, yeah. It's really inspiring. I kind of watch it whenever I'm feeling down. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why do you feel down, man?
I don't know. Whenever I'm like doubting myself in business.
Okay, for sure. That's funny when people say like whenever I'm doubting myself in business, and I don't think I've doubted myself in business like that much. Maybe once or twice. But when I've done that, it's like, can I live up to this expectation? That's really what it comes down to. Not like I'm going to quit or anything, but can I play at that level? Mm-hmm. I know I'm playing, but can I play at that level in business? And that's why I do the podcast. That's why I do my vlogs. That's why I do all my, I'm running the business, I'm running the show. I'm working out in the gym. I'm doing the most, and I'm doing it at a high level as possible. And people see all these things as distractions. I mean, I don't. I just see that, I see the future. I see the pieces on the board, and I can see what needs to be done in order to ensure a long-term victory.
Right.
It's like, look, I could eat pizza and all day, every day, and gain a lot of muscle, but I'm going to have to be on that treadmill for a long time to lose all that extra fat weight, and hopefully I don't have a heart attack in the process. Mm-hmm. So the way I'm setting up the game, the way I'm setting up the win, some people can't see that right now. And there's other people that are winning right now in our business. They're winning so hard. And it kills me. I'm telling you, it kills me every time I watch them. I see them go on stage. And you know what? It kills me because I'm like, clapping, right?
Just clapping,
I'm clapping and smiling. And I'm happy for them, but I'm mad at myself. I'm mad that I'm on that side of the stage. And if people have those expectations of me and I haven't been living up to them, they're probably, they're buying their ticket and they're like, yo, I paid all this money to see Roderic crush it on this level in business. He's doing okay, he's doing well, but he's crushing on this level in business, like consultant level in business, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not getting my money's worth. So this game kind of sucks to watch.
Right.
It's kind of you go into a LeBron James game and he's sitting out, he's sitting down.
Exactly.
He's not playing the game, which the commissioner now changed all of the rules, which I do like. But you work with me.
Right.
My intensity is like no one knows your brother and sister until they live with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And people don't know me behind the scenes, but I just let people see what I want them to see. I do operate well when people doubt me, so doubt me as much as you want. I operate when people want to talk shit about me because I'll smile in your face. But there is this crazy fire inside that once I do get close to you, you're gonna feel it, you're gonna understand it, and you're gonna see it burn some shit up. And these next couple of years, like you said, Michael Jordan got prepped pretty well in college, and then he got destroyed. Right? I got prepped pretty well in business, and then I got destroyed, and now I'm back. And
ready to win your 6 rings.
And I'm just ready to win these 6 rings. The next 1 ring down. Let's get the next 5 rings. Let's open up these next 5 business offices across the country, and let's crush it. Like, let's get on the other side of the stage. And I want to see my boys on the other side of the stage. I want to see you on the other side of the stage. I want to see Messer on the other side of the stage, Phil on the other side of the stage, Crenshaw, Kelly, Sherilyn. Like, I want to see all those guys. Even Mike, your new guy Mike. Like, like Mike on the side, Mitch on the other side of the stage.
Can't leave out my boy John.
Yeah, we can't leave out John. But John, we'll see where you at, John. We see where you're at. I gotta see that. Crenshaw's on the same path. We'll see where he's at as well. But I'm still gonna bust my ass and make sure I can make everybody better. Because if something happened to me, like I was taken out of business or something happened, like I made you guys so good and you're so prepared, and the intensity and the drive, like nothing can stop you. You're like a Mack truck. Nothing can stop you to just get out of the way or get run over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That if I leave the business, you guys can still transcend, adapt, and keep going and crush it. And I'm not going to leave the business willingly. Like, someone will have to freaking drag me the hell out of this planet, But I appreciate you bringing up that analogy. You're not too bad in business yourself, Jordan.
Thank you.
You're not too bad in business yourself.
Looking to get better, though. Always.
Yeah, you're looking to get better. You're not as needy as you were when you came into...
It was like a month ago.
Yeah, that was like a month ago. Yeah, I mean, it was funny. I said, what happened when you were super needy? And I was like, what'd I do to you?
We stopped being friends.
Yeah, I said you can't be my friend anymore. I stopped talking to Jordan for how many days? Was it?
It was like a week.
It wasn't even that long.
It was like 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days, and he freaked out. And then he sent, what was the email he sent me? It said,
I'll stop being a little bitch.
That's right. And I said, all right, we're friends again. Yeah, right? Are we good? Jordan, I do care about you, man. Trust me. And I have your best interest in mind. And whenever you act like a little mija, I gotta be that guy to snap you out of it.
I get that, yeah.
I mean, just like you keep me on track with time, right? And I see you going.
Someone's got to.
So I see you going crazy. You're like, the time, because I could talk forever.
I mean, you have so much to say. You're always gonna want to talk.
I always feel like
I want to be on that level where I have so much to say, so much advice to give that I don't want to stop talking.
Right.
So I'm just kind of trying to learn
as
much as I can.
You get there. You're gonna run the office again, so it's gonna be cool. But is there anything else you want to add, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm looking to go to New York next week. So I just
God.
want to throw that out there that if Rod goes to New York without me, I'm gonna be disappointed. I already said I'm willing to pay.
Wow, you gonna throw it out here on this?
Price,
I suck, yo, to go to New York. That's all right. Doesn't have to get that desperate. But I want to say thank you for being on the show, Jordan. And what's the name of the show?
Earmeout.
So yes, guys, thank you for listening to the Earmeout podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Roderic Grant. Please smash that subscribe button, because Jordan, if you don't, Jordan will suck, yo. If you smash that subscribe button, hit the like button a couple times, not too many times, and find this guy on Facebook. What's your Instagram name?
Just my name, Jordan McWilliams.
Jordan McWilliams. What's your Snapchat?
JMCW07049.
All right. Okay. What?
I made it in 8th grade. It's okay.
Wait, what? Say it again. Slow motion.
JMCW07049.
Okay.
It's my birthday.
Oh, this birthday. Oh, okay.
It's not my
Very
social or anything.
Okay, good. And you ready to give us your Instagram?
I did, yeah.
Okay, cool. And that's all we need from him before he gets a 032868544321. Yeah. And that's it, guys. So we're going to roll the music and we're out of here.
Yeah.
Peace.